Welcome to another episode of Commercial Property Roadshow. You're here with Helen Tarrant, and one of the things I'm going to share with you is another client story. It's always important to have client stories because you want to see what they have achieved in their journey. Now, Joey has been with us for quite a few years now. It's our client, so this is her third property with us. So you can see how the journey evolves over time by being with us, by having a strategy, by working out what it is the next step. And in there, I talk about her next step as well. So why don't we check out her story? Hi there, this is Helen Tarrant again from Here with our whole team. Wow, it's massive.
There we go.
Can everyone hear and see Joey?
Yep, should be able to now.
Okay.
All right, there we are.
How are you?
Fabulous, and you?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right, so
Oh, I have to actually get Joey on here because all I'm seeing is sideways Joey from your...
all right now, if anybody's upset, I'm drinking coffee. I'm sorry. I need to stay awake for the rest of the afternoon.
Why? Who else is on that is going to put you to sleep?
No one, of course. Bye. But
Jerry, take the food. Take your dinner with you.
I did spend the week in bed with COVID. Remember?
It's only a little thing. All right, Joey, welcome. Really nice to have you here. So for some of you guys, you might have seen, spoken, or met Joey at one of our meetups. But Joey's been with us for a while now.
Anybody who was paying attention to the documentary at lunch would have seen Joey on that
as well. So, Joey, how long have you been with us now?
I think just over 2 years. I think I joined at the end of 2019.
Okay. It feels like it's been like forever. Actually,
I know it does, isn't it? I think I still remember the days when we used to meet up at Eastwood.
Yes.
Yeah. As I say, it feels like it was only last month or last week. You know.
It does, but it was also a lifetime ago.
Yeah. So that's been it's been an interesting journey. So tell us why you decided to get into commercial in the first place when you first came on.
Okay, so I remember that I have quite a few residential properties portfolio, and I got to the stage where the bank just won't lend me money anymore, and they just keep telling me I don't have the servicing. So I was thinking that, there must be other way of how to earn money. I cannot just, stop. So for some reason, I was Googling and you came up, and lucky you were in Sydney and you were in Eastwood, which is not too far away from me. So I decided to show up to one of those meetups that you have, one of the evenings that you have there. And I think at the time I met up with someone, like the couple that sat next to me, they were onto their second property, and they were saying that how great the experience was, they purchased their first property the previous year and now they're onto their second one, and it just gave me a really good feeling. So that night I think I contacted you and I said, please help me. And yeah,
great.
That's how I went into it.
First deal. So tell us about your first deal. So
my first deal was at Gympie. It was a national tenant. We got it for just under $1 million, I think.
Yes. I'm just going to share you guys the screen so you can see that's the property there.
Yes, that was it.
That's Bow Repairs, right?
Yes, Bow Repairs up at Gympie.
That's part of your retirement plan?
Yes, it is. Well, no, it's not. This was part of my plan that this is what's going to put my kids' education through. My kids' education plan, I think.
I remember that. I remember you told me that
That's where the rubber meets the road.
Yes, I said to you, I think at the time I said to you, I have a kid and I'm, having a second one soon or whatever it is. And I said, I need cash flow positive investments because all my residentials were negative gear and it was just really bad. Like every month I was actually just pouring money into a bottomless, wheel and like I'm not getting any back. And this was first cash flow positive property that I had purchased. And it's settled on Valentine's Day.
present.
My first love.
Yeah, with love, definitely. Look, this property we did also. We had talking about DD. I remember at the time, we looked at it. We looked at the bottom of the foundation because they were storing a lot of tires. There was the insurance issue because your tires being flammable. We had to go through all of those little things. Like everything is so individual about it. And then we're of course going, well, sometime the tenant's in the middle of a 5-year lease. We got to go and renegotiate the leases, and we started talking through all the possibilities and things like that. So, but since then the yields definitely have compressed. We're at a different time. Graham's going to talk about some of your properties, but then you got cash flow with this one. What did we end up doing as the next deal?
Now the next one we got was at Bundaberg. That one was a really, really good buy as well. So we have not a national tenant, but a government tenant downstairs, and they are a recruitment agency. Now, we bought upstairs and downstairs at the same time. It was a strata block. Upstairs, the vendor was the purchaser and the self-managed super fund. So we literally got a bargain.
So this is the deal. So it's a whole building. We bought it for about 710. So upstairs, there was a recruitment agency that had left, and they've just sort of left so much furniture and everything else there that we talked about, potentially we have to gut the whole place and bring it to bare shell because it was just a bit of a robot warrant. Downstairs, you guys had the max employment down there. Yes. And I know then, unfortunately, sort of when we settled on this, which was sort of towards your late October, we kind of had the whole COVID situation where office spaces didn't become popular and people didn't want to rent it. But I constantly talked to, we had furniture there, we weren't sure what we were going to do, but the whole thing is you never know what kind of tenant you're going to get. We always thought that we were going to get an employment type of tenant there because it matched a professional type tenant might need the furniture and everything else. But
I'm lucky we didn't buy the furniture.
But life didn't turn out to be that way because what we ended up having, we were finding a tenant after constantly talking to agents and having a few inspections, is that we got your yoga tenant.
Yeah, no, that's really great. As I said, at the time when we got the loan, they were saying to me, if you get the bottom, that's the one that's going to keep you going. But if you get the top tenant, that's the cream on top. So anything on top is just bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did. We've just signed the heads of agreement on it, and I think today I saw the quote coming for the carpet, and Steve and I will have a chat to you later on about the carpet and helping the refurbishments for this tenant, but on a new 5-year lease. So that's good for more than what we thought. Or all along we were saying to you, look, we probably wouldn't be able to get 30,000, probably be aiming for 25 and everything, but we ended up getting a tenant for $30,000 a year, which was great.
Yes. So it's actually worth the wait.
Yes, it was definitely worth the wait. Look, this just shows the market does bounce back, and sometimes when you're doing these things, you can't really anticipate. So what's the plan now with this new property now that's got the tenant in there? Where you're moving on to the next one, or?
Yes, I am, definitely. You know that there's another one that is in the pipework. Yes. We are just waiting for that.
Yeah. So I will show you guys a quick snapshot of that one. Look, that one's a bit messy. It's going to take a long time. Well, not a long, probably the next couple of months for us to tidy it up. And we've had it under contract for a little while now. But the reason for that is that there was a lot of stuff to be done on the property, and we know that if it goes to valuation at the moment, it just won't value up, and the agents know that, so they're helping us do all the things. So this is in Townsville, this property in Townsville. It's a older style property.
Good solid building.
It's
like
a solid
concrete
building,
on brick.
but it just needs some love and care, and it needs definitely some love and care on this property. So this is last speaking to the agent last week was that they've cleaned up the front section of the restaurant section, because Steve and I saw it and we're in Townsville, and we gave them suggestions about opening the area up. So he suggested removing one of the walls so when people can look in, it's an open space. So they've removed that. They've did a really good clean, because when there's nothing worse than people coming in for an inspection not having a clean. We were upstairs. There were some old, like you had that
There's an old one of the original self-printing whiteboards, which was about the size of a shipping container. It was ginormous.
So we got them to get rid of that, and so now the ladies, the leasing agent has put in quite a few different proposals out there. She's sent some proposals out to some different cafes, and then she's upstairs to a couple of professional tenants to get them tenanted. So sometimes it's a constant effort. You just got to stay on top of the agents and everything else. But but Joey, in terms of how much hand-holding we've given you through the process.
Honestly, you're literally still holding my hand at the moment. You know what? I'm so glad. I'm so glad I have you guys, because every customer that you have, like every one of me, you made it personalized. Like, it's not one size fit all. And I feel that you really, really do listen to what I want, and you actually go and source the buildings that actually fit my criteria. You don't just throw anything at me and goes, Joey, buy this because, this is what I think you want, and not what you think, like, what I think that, yeah. So I really do appreciate that you treat, me, it's very personal service, not just a one-size-fit-all service.
Exactly. And if you don't buy something in 6 months and we reckon you're wasting your potential, we'll give you a ring and hassle you.
Yeah, definitely. When we finish this one, we're going to look for the next one in the next 6 months.
There you go.
Yes. And sometimes these things take patience. I know there's been some frustrations. Like every deal, there is always that ups and downs. When you do uplift deals, you can't predict a few things. Sometimes things go really well. Sometimes things take a little while, and you keep constantly working at it. Yeah.
And the thing is, you've been very upfront with me. I mean, when we first got the last deal, you said to me already, like, this will take a little bit of time. It's not like you already said to me, this is not something that would happen within, a month or 2 months. You will have to clean this up before we can, we can buy this, or we got to do, like, you actually tell me the process of every way, and I'm not surprised. Like, I sort of know what's coming next already.
Yeah,
which is very good.
Yeah, and how much do we work on your file when you're not there?
You constantly. I mean, you literally do all the heavy lifting. I just need to sign, and that's all.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we do a lot behind the scenes for our clients, that when they're not thinking about it, because we know they're busy, and then we understand, and we have a really good understanding of exactly what you're looking for. And so this is for everyone that's here. I mean, with our service, one of the things is that we need to get crystal clear clarity of where you're going, because it's not about us, it's your dialogue. But if I don't understand where you're going, what your big picture is, and what you want to achieve, I can't step into your shoes and make those decisions and find the properties that's right for you. Because for me, when the agent called me and says, hey, the yoga studio person wants to sign a lease, but they don't want, I know you said we'll give them 6 months rent free to, you know, get them onto a longer lease, but they want you to really do the floor covering. Do you want to talk to Joey about it? I said, no, just put it to contract, put it to paper. Don't need to talk to her. It's a yes, just do it, just because we just want the tenant, right? So without knowing and building that relationship, we wouldn't know. Without dealing together, we wouldn't know this, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Yeah. So that's the most important thing. So what's next for you, Joey, on the cards?
The next, well, let's try to get number 3 finished first, and let's get number 4 on the way towards the end of the year. I mean, if we can get 2 a year, I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, change it. And every strategy is different, isn't it?
Every strategy is different. Yes, I must say, the first one you sort of said to me, we need to find you a cash cow. So, that's what we did. We found Gimpy. And the second one you sort of said to me, look, you know, there's a little bit of, you know, a room to move now. So that's why we got Bundaberg, because, you know, we got the stable income on the bottom, and we're just looking for the top. And with this one, obviously, it's a little bit different again. So I don't know. I will follow your plan.
Well, I think next one will probably for you, the next one after, knowing that you've now done a few uplifts, there's some key areas we can go back into, some metros to position you that hasn't quite boomed. We'll probably put you back into there for some growth when the yield, you know, you can sit back, relax a little bit, let the market compress itself, and then that will probably be your 4th one. So you get some, and then we can look at, you know, when that's compressed, we can look at refinancing that.
Sounds great. I love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, great. All right. Has anyone got any questions for Joey before she signs off? And because I appreciate time. Joey now has how many kids do you have now?
3. I've got 3 under 4.
So
that's why I don't have time.
And you work full time?
I work full time, and I also look after my partner's dental clinic. So I don't have time.
Wow.
And
do you still have resi properties?
I do. I still do have my resi properties. I don't think I'm a little bit of a hoarder. I hold and I never sell any of them. So I haven't sold any of my residential properties.
Well, we'll have a little discussion about that a bit later on.
We do. We'll have to have a discussion.
There's certain times in the market where you will need to sell, but not always. Or you'll come to that realization afterwards and go, okay, well, you know what? Let's just sell some and then stick the money into commercial and sell off to the
definitely. But as I said, we'll probably need to have that talk very soon, because, like, I don't know how to recycle the money. After the 4th one, so we'll have to talk about that.
The question was, did your bow repairs flood in this rain?
I don't know. I hope not, because I
don't believe it has. If it has, we always get the call, but we haven't got the call. So if you don't get a call,
no call is, as I no news is good news, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And they want to know that are you using your equity for the deposits?
Am I using my equity
from your
equity from the resis, probably?
Oh no, I am actually funding those equities from myself for the deposits. Yes, because my resi are so negative gear. I won't able to actually get any out yet. But as I said, we'll talk about that when we come to the 4th one, because I might need to cash out some of those equities for my deposits.
Guys, just if you're wondering, Helen does think you're cheating on her if you keep buying resi. She gets upset.
I stop. I literally stop. I promise you, because they won't lend me any more money. Only commercial under lease stock that I can still get finance. And you know, this is great. I just could not believe I can still get finance.
I know, and that's money. Exactly. That's one of the things I said before, Joe, is a lot of people here who are new, sometimes it's easier to finance commercial than it is resi, and people think I'm waffling. It's not. It's true.
Yeah, I could not believe it. I literally could not believe it, because I remember at the time I was only trying to get an extra maybe 120,000 out of my residential property, and they said to me, no, you can't service it. And I said, what do you mean I can't service it? Like, I've got so much equity there. What do you mean I can't service it? And with commercial, if the lease looks good, yep, you can come up with the deposit, or we'll give you the loan.
There you go.
Yeah. Now with Chassie, Graham's going to be up next talking about the different interest rates you'll find out.
Yes.
Helen wants to know if she wants to verify if you're real, she could contact you.
Sure. I'm real, I promise.
Just to double check that we haven't put someone on there that we know.
I'm real, really, it's real.
Next time we'll pay someone with a stick to poke you to see if you go, ow. That'll prove you're real.
I'm poking you already.
That's fine. Did you buy it through the trust structure?
No, I didn't. But I must say, with the unicorn thing, I did invest through self-managed super fund.
There you go.
Yeah. And there's one last question. If it does flood, is there a way around that you don't lose the property? What are the consequences and actions which needs to be taken? Oh, okay. So this is more of a question to us about if a property does flood, but you have insurance.
Yes.
It would be pretty silly if you didn't have insurance for flooding right now in Queensland. If you were buying any sort of property, if you're not in a flood zone, it's pretty cheap to add insurance for flooding. Like for one of the rocky properties that I know that James did, the difference between flood and non-flood insurance was like $50 or $100 or something like that, and there was not a lot. Even in areas that's deemed flood zones, only like $2,000. But the only places that's really would jump is if you're in a massive in a ditch.
Like Singleton, for instance.
Yeah.
And anybody who saw that spreadsheet from James before the Singleton, that was my property, that one on the top.
Right. I always like Lismore. You don't want to be in Lismore at the moment.
I'm going to open a scuba diving training centre there.
All right, there's lots and lots of thank yous. Look, Joey, I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. I really appreciate you guys. Actually, you know what? My journeys with commercial property has nothing but good. So I really do appreciate you guys, what you've done for me, because I wouldn't have got to where I am here today. Cash flow positive without the team, without you guys.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate it. When we appreciate you, and we just love dealing. I always say I have to love dealing with you. That's why I always promise to do one deal with you. If I love dealing with you, then I'll continue on.
That's it. You got to try, right?
Yeah.
Try before you buy.
That's right.
I nearly got ditched after my first deal.
Yes, that's right. Yes, he was very persistent afterwards. All right. Thank you, Joey.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. And I'll catch up with you next week.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, did you enjoy that? How amazing is that to go from one property to 2 to 3, doing uplifts, going from set and forget, now being able to refinance. So we're looking at, for her last deal, being able to line up together with the refinance of her first property into they're settling her third property. So that should all come together about April, May this year. We've discussed with the vendor about how we could change the contracts and the contract terms to meet up with the leases. We're getting to this point where by April all of that property will be leased up and should be ready to go to valuation. So lots of things we do in the background for our clients that other people don't know about. Lots and lots of things we do in guiding our clients through the process and working through and understanding your journey, because it's individual to you, what you want to achieve and what's the long-term relationship that you want to build, not only with us but also to understand what you want to do with your portfolio overall. So if that's what you're looking for someone to really be in your corner, work with you and achieve longevity in your portfolio, reach out to us, helentarrant.com. But in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.